How's it going, mates? This is Mrjacharles, and we're here with a Let's Talk. Now, I'm assuming you can guess by the title that things are going to be changing. A storm is approaching, my friends. And that is why I'm announcing I'm gonna stop doing Let's Talks. I know, it came back out of nowhere, didn't it? I'm going to address, the main questions I think you guys will have about it. I'm not gonna completely stop them, they're just not gonna happen every Sunday like they used to. I'll still do them when I need to address stuff, I'll still do them for milestones, but yeah. So first off, why do I want to stop doing Let's Talks? Right, to be fair, Let's Talks have been great for getting me involved with the community. I used to react to people can find out more about me. I think for a long time anyway, I was thinking of stopping Let's Talks because for me, other than Game of the Week, none of it seemed to fulfill anything for me. I mean, these days I do quizzes, which tell you what element I like. I used to do technical difficulties, which I suppose for the early days it was fun to know, but when it became more developed and I kept saying the same technical difficulties, nothing really came of it. But the main thing is, I mentioned last week I'm going to be starting college and I still need to find a new job. Now when I did Mrjacharles before, all I had to really contend with was getting it done end of Friday of the week, so Monday to Friday to do it, and I had a 30-hour job to do on top of that. Now with college, I'm going to need to do 20 hours actually at the college. I think it's about 20 hours, it might be a bit less. But outside of that, I know I need to do, I think it's more 20 hours above that to do, outside studying. And beyond that, I've got to do a job for 20 hours at least, assuming I don't have to do overtime or they don't need me. So potentially instead of doing a 30-hour job, I potentially will have to deal with 60 hours of stuff. Not to mention, I'm going to need to have time to relax. I mean, to be fair, I won't have much social interaction. Weekends are free for me now, so I guess that's better for me. But you get my point, it is going to be tricky. So really, I think stopping Let's Talks will be a good way for me to just reduce what I'm doing on YouTube a bit, and will make time for content that I think actually informs more about me and what I want to deliver. So what will happen on Sundays instead? Okay, all those Game of the Week people, the people that come here for Game of the Week, they won't need to worry. What I basically want to do is instead of showing me just saying, oh, these are the Game of Weeks, I wouldn't mind just doing some audio of me commenting on some actual game footage of the games I do. On top of that, I might do a top 10 list. I mean, it depends how much time I will have altogether. I know top 10 lists aren't always easy to do in an allotted time. I mean, they certainly require quality, but on the other hand, I can use it to make YouTube help me with my studies. I could do a project on feral children. That's what I want to do for sociology. But I think mainly the thing that won't happen is I'm not going to feature a video of me just talking. I want to do something with a bit more colour in it, a bit more presentation, and I might be able to widen my audience a bit. Last thing you guys might be curious about are, what about the Sunday Let's Plays? The Let's Plays I do 6 AM, and then I do one 1 PM, one every Sunday and one, just daily 6 AM. Right, what's going to happen with Sundays? The 6 AM one is still going to be there because I need to make that anyway. I think only because the 1 PM one never really had much success. I mean, it was Final Fantasy, Age of Empires, and to be fair, personally, they never really delivered the 6 PM and 6 AM ones on weekdays deliver. So to be fair, I don't think there's much point of featuring them. I may still play Final Fantasy, but I may make it just a 6 AM game, on weekdays, do 4 parts, rather than just do a video a week, doing a Let's Play, which I don't think many people are that focused on. But yeah, every Sunday should feature at least 2 videos, which should be Game of the Week and the 6 AM game. If I have time, I'll try and do a top 10 list. It'll probably be something to do with studies. Not so much me commenting on how studying is going, but actually using research and then just compiling information that you guys might find interesting. But the basic matter of fact is, I want Let's Talks to stop. I've been thinking of trying to do it for some time. It's just I've never really been sure when I should stop doing Let's Talks and what I could replace it with. I hope none of you are stressed or sad or even angry that Let's Talks are going, because I do think for some of you guys out there it may be a way of me communicating with my viewers. I think, to be fair though, I want to change. I want to make better content. Removing the Let's Talks does remove some of my content, but it gives me a chance to evolve. One thing one of my favourite YouTubers, Mrjacharles, said, I mean everyone knows Mrjacharles, but one of the things he said during one of his, it was like an equivalent of a Let's Talk, he doesn't have a name for it, he just talks to his viewers. He said, I never want to change, and I promise I won't change. Now, to be fair, whether or not he delivered on that message is irrelevant to me. But the fact is, I feel like a YouTuber should not be afraid to change. Especially as it gives people so much more opportunities. So you know what, if there are people out there who are screaming for me to address something, then I will come and address it. Even if it's like a 5-minute message, even if it's not even through YouTube, but maybe on Twitter. But again, I just hope none of you guys are too annoyed about this, because this is something I've really wanted to do. Okay, so now we're going to do the last Let's Talk game of the week. Imagine that. So our first game, we have Midnight Spooks. The game where we were wandering around Spooky Mr. Spooky's shop and hoping to get into his basement and then get our basketball back, I guess. The next game is Throne, Kingdom at War. It was basically the Ebony ripoff that had you doing nothing and the game just doing everything for you. Monster Clearer, the Armor Games minigame which featured you going out into the forests and just hunting everything to extinction. Mad CEO, the game which, to be fair, felt like a ripoff of Adventure Capitalist, but you know, you had a nice office, and some nice employees with some good puns. Black Evil. The nicest name for a game ever. I mean, I'm sure when you play Black Evil, it sounds completely innocent. And Dinner with an Owl. The name which basically says it all in the title. We had Dinner with an Owl. Oh, and stabbed him a few times. I particularly enjoyed that. Okay, so from 6 to 1, which one is our favourite? Well, number 6 and number 5 was actually kind of hard to choose, only because they both had the same flaw to me. They felt like rip-offs of another game. But number 6 is Throne, Kingdom at War. Now the issue with this game was, for 2/3 of the video, I wasn't doing anything except letting the game run me through a tutorial. Really the only valuable bits to me was when it was saying how to build something, and then it just needed to say that once. I guess recruiting militia would have been good, but even then you didn't have much choice during the tutorial, and even then, there wasn't anything to do afterwards that was really thrilling. The main game that it ripped off was one called Ebony, which I would recommend, but again, both the games are still very time-consuming. So if you want to, invest yourself in something, then yeah, you could try Throne, Kingdom at War, or Ebony, but it's not a game I would recommend. Number 5, Mad CEO. Again, this is a rip-off of a game called Adventure Capitalist, which, to be fair, I loved Adventure Capitalist, but Mad CEO, it was too much the same. I will admit, though, the one reason why Mad CEO does better than Throne, Kingdom, or is because it did make it better where you could click on coins to get more coins. You know, when the guy makes a gold coin and you click it to hell. To be fair, that was a very minor improvement, but I've got to admit, it did slightly improve on the formula. So I will commend the game for that, but I still don't think the game really delivered anything good. Number 4, Monster Clearer. It was decent gameplay, and it is something, I guess, if I was on a train or something and could play it on a phone, I can't because it's a PC game, I could play in my free time. I think really the problem with it was a bit too simplistic for me. There was no clear story, it was basically go into a dungeon, get killed, revive, looping that over and over again, but I've got to admit, for the short time I played it, it was pretty enjoyable. Number 3, Dinner with an Owl. To be fair, this game was beautifully designed. I haven't seen anything designed like it before. It's a short game, but I guess it was like a puzzle which was... it's worth completing, sure. I particularly didn't like it because I had to kill an owl, and I love owls. They're adorable. I mean, I don't hate the game for it. For some reason, we did have to kill the owl. It didn't really detail why we had to kill the owl, though. I mean, we assumed because it kept these people in a house. But you know, what did he do in the house? He looked after them. He probably provided them food. I would recommend doing with an owl, and it is a great game. I think the issue with it was there wasn't much more you could do, and I feel like there wasn't enough character development to know why we had to kill the owl, what everyone else had gone through. So, amazing presentation, but I think story could still be developed a bit more. Number 2, which will decide what number 1 is Midnight Spooks. I actually really like this game. Soundtrack was really cool. It had a lot of good puzzles. It wasn't just straightforward though, because I actually did have to think. And you know, I almost didn't use a walkthrough. Almost. Still did though. The main problems with it was execution. To be fair, the animation, whilst I couldn't replicate it myself because I'm a terrible artist, was still a bit crummy at points. I mean, I still remember that guy walking backwards down the stairs. That's a health hazard right there. But I did enjoy the game. I did think the puzzles were quite intricate and good. But alas, it makes number 1 game of the week, Black Evil. Now, some of you might be surprised because, to be fair, the speech was terrible. And even so, the design at some points was awkward. I mean, we had radioactive vines, yes. But I think something that actually wants me to play the game again, something that actually I wouldn't mind doing 4 more parts for, is the fact the concept kind of interests me. Like, I've seen gun games before, everyone's seen gun games before, and I've seen dungeon crawlers before, but I don't think I've ever seen a dungeon crawler that has you have a gun, you know, you can just kill stuff to try and get the key, get new weapons. I didn't see much of it, and to be fair, it could have ended in, like, after the next floor. But I actually wouldn't mind that game being a little more developed. I'd love to see more of it. I'd love to see it with an ending. I don't know how far Black Evil is, but it is a game I would recommend. And, you know, I just absolutely love the concept. I think it's one that should be developed. So yeah, game of the week is Black Evil. Okay, sub count. Unfortunately we've lost 1 sub. But that's fine, I don't mind losing a few people because sometimes you can't meet everyone's interests. I'm still glad that 182 of you are still interested in what I have to deliver though. I'm very proud of that. I will never forget that. Even if I don't do Let's Talks anymore, I will always be looking at how much subs there are. I'm thinking of each and every one of you, like you're my children. And it means a lot people actually give me a chance when I release content. But I want to change, I want to do more, I want to deliver more. I don't want to leave again. That's the one thing I don't want to do, because if that happened because of work, college and stuff, I would be distraught. You know what, we're still here, we're still together. There is a battle ahead, chicks and mates. But I will fight for you guys, and we shall have a laugh. But anyway, have a great week. Look out for my book, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Until the next time, see ya.